Here we are, the Racing Pals pre-season. Green flags are out, we're away. Good start for everyone. There's a bit of contact, everyone seems to get through the first corner cleanly. Small gap as deep cut goes wide. Darker seizes the opportunity to guard the inside. Bongus goes across the last bit of the chicane. That opens up the gap for Bartlett, who tries round the outside of the last corner. They're neck and neck as they come across the timing line under BMW bridge. Bartlett is ahead.
Good morning, evening, or afternoon, or night, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome back to the Racing Pals ACC GT3 season, round 4 out of 6 here at Zolder. Zolder, a very interesting circuit, really. It's one that I'm not too clued up about in reality. It seems quite tight, some weird corners. Your first corner is a left-hander into a long right-hander that then goes into a straight into a right-hander and a chicane, over a crest into a second chicane, and then some stuff through some woodlands, and then hopefully you won't die. Really, it's going to be very interesting as well to see how the drivers take today's circuit, see how the battling goes underway. It is going to be a guaranteed dry race. Spa 2 weeks ago, I believe, was wet. We had some technical issues there, which I believe I have fixed now, so that is good. So I should, fingers crossed, if everything keeps going as planned, be with you for the full 1 hour race, as well as the qualifying, as we are just coming up towards the end of practice. For people that aren't too knowledgeable on the series itself, this is the RP Series. There will be a 15-minute qualifying, which will then be followed by the 1 hour race with one mandatory pit stop. You must change tyres. You are allowed to refuel. However, it's not mandatory. There is variable weather. Today, I believe it is guaranteed dry. 2 times points. There is a scoring system from 14 points for first to 1 point for 10th. There is post-race stewarding, where drivers can put in tickets about anything that they think needs to be looked at by the stewards. And then we also have 3 driver classes ranging from platinum, silver to bronze. Platinum being the quickest drivers on the grid. Bronze being the drivers who are a little bit behind. This is to ensure A, free championships, but B, close championship fights for the entire season, up and down the grid. So, the circuit Zolder, let's see, shall we, if we can jump on for a lap. Here we go. We'll jump on board with Bacon here, as he is actually coming up to the first chicane. My bad, I do apologise. The first chicane. Let's get this one up here. You can see down the bottom we are following car number 500. He has just gone through the first chicane. Now into the second chicane. You see, you have to hit the first bit, hit the second bit. The sausage curbs are on the inside, which can unsettle the car. I've heard from around a couple of drivers. You then got a left-hander here, which then, oh god, big crash. Big crash there for William Treasure Bacon, as he is also known. Very big crash there. Let's see. Let's jump on with the number 81 machine, which is Medeiros. Here we go. So we're going to be on board with Medeiros. You can see the session has come to a close. So he's gone through turn 1, now into turn 2. Then you've got the run turn 3 with the factory on the left-hand side. There's not a lot of distance between yourself and the sand on the left-hand side out of turn 3. Then you have turn 4. I classify chicanes as one corner, over the first, over the second. Very easy to spear off into the wall to the left-hand side. Once again, not a huge amount of room. Then you have a crest into this long left-hander, which then you're back on the brakes once again for the second chicane, where you want to hit the apexes as close as possible. Then a right-hander. I've seen the mistake of some drivers putting a lot of power into that right-hander out of the second chicane, which obviously gives you a little bit more understeer off into the wall and can actually unsettle you. And then you see we're now coming into sector 3, a very tight right-hander, which then has a little bit of a left king. Some people will class that as a chicane, however I don't, as we are coming up to its big brother chicane. Just up ahead, quite a long one here, hard on the brakes. The pit entry's just in front, as you can see there. Left, right, keep the back in line, use as much of the curve as you feel comfortable doing, and then you are back across the start-finish line for another lap. It's definitely going to be interesting, as now we are out for qualifying. Let's jump on here with PM Renault, shall we, for a on-board style lap. Here is PM Renault, number 922 machine, typical front runner in the Porsche 911 GT3, with the rivals really of Dave Kolesnikow, as well as a few other drivers up and down the grid. We always see them fighting very close up front. PM Renault, I know for a fact, will be looking for a good result today. Hopefully wanting to beat Dave, who he believes is going faster on race trim. So, PM Renault typically qualifying very far up the grid, sometimes first, sometimes second, towards the first 2 rows. I believe, for the season. This is a very nice camera angle there, as you can just see all the cars in the background just moving their way through. Now, we have 15 minutes of qualifying. The bit that's going to be interesting to see is just where our drivers come. Gary Rowe, G. Rowe, who is in the number 63 car, the 63 Aston Martin, in the practice server at least, looked to be very quick on this circuit, which will obviously be a very big confidence booster for that driver in the bronze class. Also keep in mind, you have to think really of the 3 classes as 3 separate races. In fact, and what I mean by that is you have to sort of think you've got the platinum race, the silver race, and the bronze race. Whereas in reality, they're all on the same track. You have to think of it as points are awarded in the 3 separate. So it's very interesting to sort of see what happens. Ooh, PM Renault getting very loose over the first chicane. See how he goes through the first sectors today. The sector 1 time. He's a little bit up actually. I think because he's just come off of an outlap, it's not very helpful to tell me the deltas. Bingus and Bongus, obviously first on the grid so far. However, lap times have not actually been set in yet. We will get the first lap times in a moment, as PM Renault is now in the 3rd sector. Let's see if we can jump on board here. We are now on board on the bonnet of PM Renault, actually, as he comes into the final corners. Bingus McLong is setting the first time for 129.6. Let's see how PM Renault comes through across the line. Can he outplace Bingus McLongers? No, 130. Dropped down by Toby Long. Actually, we are now with Urumi. Let's see how Rumi does in this KZO Motorsport Lexus, which for some reason always goes for the Emil Free Lexus. Up in front, Dave Kolesnikow has set the fastest time of the session so far, 128.6, with Gobsmaker or Gobsmacker, however you want to say it, setting in a 129.5, with Vincent Bongus still retaining third place with a 129.6. Monicelli at number 66. Lexus, I believe, again this season from the AM class. No, not from the AM class, sorry, he was in the Pro class, I believe. Setting in some good performances. Smith as well coming into set fourth with a 129.6, with Aaron Feidler, Alan the German, going into sixth, with Power Angel as well setting a 129.4. So 8 tenths separating first and second. Rumi going into 18th, a 131.7. Here is Dave Kolesnikow from the Eminent Authority Racing outfit, number 167 Bentley. Dave has been an absolute force this season. In fact, it's always great to see as well. It really pushes, if there's someone who's so far ahead in racing or even in points, Bingus Longest going into pole, 128.4. Dave Kolesnikow improving to a 128.5. But no, as I was saying, if you're in a series where you've got someone who, at least for me anyway, I'm obviously not speaking for everyone, I'm speaking for how I see it myself. Yeah, if I'm driving and I'm racing in a league where the people ahead of me are just that much quicker, it will always push me to drive a lot harder and a lot faster, but also speed up my development on a given track car combo to just get better and just to try and close the gap between myself and the cars ahead. Let's see about sitting on board with Dave Kolesnikow. Now, the Bentley apparently can just, well, you can just see how stable it is over curbs. There is a Schobler going deep at the exit of the second chicane. Now he's on the back of the number 63 machine. That's Gary Rowe. In fact, that's a Sportify machine. Gary Rowe in the AM class. Gary Rowe was fast in practice, currently sat in 19th. However, I do believe he will be able to improve. Dave Kolesnikow, I believe, might be, yeah, he's heading into the pit lane. He was on what looked to be a fast lap. Now we're with Toby Long for the Spotify Esports outfit. Teammate to Gary Rowe. Toby Long currently running in 11th place. The gap between first and second is such a small margin as well. Gap between third and first as well, very small. But really, the gap between the top 7 is actually sub a second between first and 7th. Obviously, it'll be lower between the intermediates of each class on the grid. Toby Long currently 2 tenths off this lap. He did, however, look to get a faster line through the second chicane, which has actually put him now 2 tenths up as he heads into Sector 2. We'll keep an eye. He's about 2 tenths, just over 2 tenths off of Monicelli in 10th, so there could be a top 10 for Toby Long. It looks like that right-hander wasn't his quickest. He did lose some time, but it has even back out. Currently 2.5 tenths up on his PB so far, which would put him, I believe, into P10, but the last chicane didn't look like it gave him all too much. No, it didn't. Is he going to improve that lap? No, not quite. He was running on the improvement, however, it wasn't to be. Here is Kurt Moss for Massive Motorsports, the number 823 car, in the Platinum class, actually. His best lap so far, 130.3. Apparently, though, just under 7 tenths up on his current best, which would be an absolute killer of a lap. 8 tenths up now. Apparently, I'm not sure how close this is in reality to what it actually is. But apparently, as he heads through the final chicane, it's 8 tenths now. Let's see. As he comes across the line, it looks like he gets a worse exit than his PB. Let's have a look across the line. Jumping up into 8th for a 129.5. That is a very, very good lap. Let's see here. Nathan Vangelo heading across the line. Where's he going to go? It's not a position improvement, but it is a lap improvement at 132.634. He is about a second away from Brad Groove Move. And he's got an invalid lap as well. Pierre Moreno apparently on an invalid lap. Apparently, I think that might be a bit wrong because it's saying he's already a minute up. I believe that might have just had a bit of a problem, being as long as still retaining the lead as well, which is definitely something. Here is Mateo Monicelli, the number 66 Ignorante Racing Team machine. That matte grey and cyan and blue Lexus. In fact, Monicelli wasn't a driver I saw very much last season, at least in interview. In reality, what happened was he always improved. He always improved when I wasn't watching. In a sense, like I'd always look back, and Monicelli had jumped positions, like had gained some quite good ground. And it's like, where did that come from? Because I didn't see it. And I think Monicelli will be a consistent performer again for the remainder of this season. I believe he has been for the entirety of this season as well. He's currently in 14th on qualifying. Just over a 10th separating himself from Toby Long. So these are the provisionals as I read them for Platinum, Silver and Bronze. Your top three for Platinum is Dave Kolesnikau with a 128.146. Bingus McBongus trailing in second with 128.497. And Smith in third with 128.710. For your silver, currently running in provisional pole is Aaron Feidler, calendar German with a 129.148. Followed by Trainboy 2005, 129.6. And Jürgens Uscheisen running in third for the silver with a 129.9. They are respectively in position for the overall 8th, 11th and 15th. Now for your bronze, you have Ultra Einen in 15th for your first place in the bronze. They are actually very close together. A 129.8 with Toby Long in second for the bronze. In 16th overall with a 129.844. And Rob Phillips in 17th or third for the bronze overall with a 130.087. That is your provisional top three for all three classes as it currently stands. Let's jump on with Rob Phillips, old Ron's here. He also drives in the Skip Barber Championship as well for the Safety team. You'll notice why when you read the side or the front of his car. If we do get an angle on it, you'll see it. Made me giggle when I first saw it. I hate it, but I love it. With just under 3 minutes left of the qualifying, a few drivers, I believe, will be able to set more lap times. Some drivers who are in Sector 3, I think, will be able to get 2 more laps, not including their current lap. Some drivers who might just be starting might be able to get another 2. We'll have to see how it goes. All the drivers will be looking for every 10th they can gain. Here you go, Rob Phillips heading into turn 2. It's a very weird corner. I class this as one turn. However, I have seen people describe it as 2 corners, the old turn. So it depends on what you class as a corner. Cycling down the gears, first apex, second apex. He's kept it clean. Now over the crest of the hill. It always scares me here whenever I've done like the 2 races at this track. It's just terrifying going over that crest because A, it dips down to the left, and B, you're not sure if there's going to be something there to greet you. The last race I did here in any sim, was a F317 race. And there was a crash over it. Crew chief didn't tell me there was a crash, and it didn't come up with a yellow flag. So I was like, okay, it's fine. So I went over as I did. You know, I had no reason to believe over that crest that there would be anything bad to greet me. Then when I was there was just a stationary car, and that was it. That was my race over. And that was his race over as well, actually. Rob Phillips improving a little bit, 129.9. Deciding not to take his second lap. Here is Kyle Cook for Bologna Racing. The number 24 machine. So I'm gonna just turn my attention to the chat for a moment. Hello chat, hello. I will read as much as I can during the race. So what are the estimations for today? Are we going to see a few crashes? Are we going to see some issues? What do we think? Bentley OP. Yeah, it really is. Let's just jump onto the camera here just to watch the cars as they finish up their laps. We can already see the marbles appearing. Train will have some drama. Ooh. Oh, okay, well done, Bingus. What happened to Bingus? Oh, right, he just... Right. Yeah, today is going to be a very interesting race. In fact, I will wait until the end of the qualifying session to give the rundown of positions. That was what I was looking for. Here is a track map. We can just see the rest of the cars going through. 75, 14, 24, 21, and 85, as well as 66 left to come through. Here comes Kyle Cook. Does he improve his lap time? Yep, up to 9th place. So that is apparently the end of the session. Yep, it is indeed. So, on to the driver lineup. Starting from pole is Dave Kalesnikau, the number 167 Bentley, followed by Bingus McBongus. A front row Bentley lockout today with Ed Costetta coming in to take third. Pierre Moreno in fourth. Fifth and sixth are two more Bentleys of Palo Angel and Smith, with Alex in seventh, number 48 Lexus. In 8th is Monicelli, number 66, Lexus 9 there. Carl Cook, number 24 Ferrari, with the number 69 Ferrari of Gobsmacker behind. Alan the German, number 206 Audi there off to the right, will be starting in 11th with 12th. Angel, number 33 Bentley, 13th there. Medina with Udadorp in 14th. 15th is Jurgens Uscheisen, number 12. Aston Martin with 16th being Moss, number 823. Chamber 2005 there. Starting in 17th with 18th being Ian Arnold. I just want to take a moment to just look at that livery a little bit, because I was a little bit conflicted about the colour scheme, but now that I look at it a bit more, I quite like it. Followed with Ultrainen there, number 32 Audi, one of the Spotify cars. That's the 71 machine of Toby Long, with Rob Phillips, number 90 Aston Martin there, with Medeiros, number 81 Aston Martin behind. Shoblum, number 951 in 23rd. Trifonov in 24th. Rumi there, 25th on the right. On the left is Gary Rowe, number 63 in 26th. Mercury, number 13 in 27th, with Gottlieb 28th. 29th is William Treasure. 30th is Brad Hoovegroove Move. And starting from the back is Nathan Van Gelwu. Gonna take a quick Quick picture. So, we will have, obviously, as always happens with the GT World Challenge, there will be a single file rolling lap and then a double file start. This will be the one pace lap will be all the drivers will get really to prepare for the race. Just hear the cars there getting ready to go as we are away for the pace lap. There goes Dave Kolesnikau. Okay, the cars just accelerating away. If we get ready, we're with Jens Uscheisen on board here. Obviously, heat the brakes, heat everything else. Uscheisen will be starting from 15th. Few cars backing up. This is going to be a very interesting race, I think, for quite a few drivers. In fact, I always do love seeing how the drivers start. Really, I just love seeing how everything starts, how people go as well. Obviously, that gives a lot of a lot of good idea of what's happening, who's going where. Also means that, you know, anything can happen, really, at the start of a race, especially with the chicanes of this circuit. I do believe we may see some late moves happening. You can just see the nice pirouette there from Kyle Cook and Monicelli as they head towards the entrance to Sector 3. Cars will be starting to go side by side. As we get ready to go, Dave Kolesnikau will be giving us the pacing off the start. Here we go. And we are away. Dave taking it right up to the line there for the start through turn 1. Let's see if anything is happening further down the grid here. I think quite a few drivers are getting away relatively cleanly. 3 wide behind as well. Drivers absolutely everywhere. Cars absolutely everywhere in that mid-pack. Towards the end of the mid-pack, actually, I think we see 4 wide there for a minute through turn 2. I think that's all China in the back as well, going a bit wide. As we can see further up ahead, quite a few drivers, and someone's off. That's Arnold. Massive crash behind. Absolutely massive crash there. That is absolutely track blocking behind. It looks like it started with Moss and Ian Arnold, and then they hit that slanted tyre barrier off to the right-hand side of your screen. And it looks like they just got deflected back onto the circuit. That is going to be big damage. Gary Rowe already in the pit lane, so I think he might have retired from this race already. That was an absolutely huge, huge crash there. As we're going to use, for the first time in quite a long time, because I've accidentally clicked it, we are going to use the instant replay. Ian Arnold is also in the pits, you can just see behind as well. That was massive, as we're getting quite a bit of lag actually. Oh, okay, yeah, we are getting an instant replay. We are on board with Gary Rowe. You can just see, you know, he's behind the number 81 machine there. And you can see where they get together and then back onto the track, and there was just no way that either of the drivers were avoiding that, really. That was a massive crash there. An absolutely massive crash, actually. As I think quite a few drivers further up the field would get out of that one pretty well, in fact. But it did look like a huge hit for many of the drivers at the back. I am trying to see how many cars are out. We lost 7 cars. Medeiros, Rumi, Moss, Schobler, Arnold and Rowe all having retired back to the pit lane. There, that was, as they would say in NASCAR, that was the big one. That was absolutely huge. And really, I kind of saw that it would happen with the tightness of this circuit, but I wasn't expecting the big one to happen there. I was expecting it to actually happen at the first chicane, or the second chicane, really. So we'll have to see what happens now for the rest of the race. Just so many cars there in the pit lane. So many people I'm expecting got huge damage as well. We obviously can't really say too much about... Well, obviously I can't say too much about what happened. Obviously I just see from the front. I don't see from the back. We are on now with Kyle Cook, who is looking against Palo Alex ahead, all over the chicane onto the sand, joining just at the crest of the hill. That's going to allow Gobsmacker to look around the outside, and there's contact between Cook and Gobsmacker there. Does everyone else get avoidance? No, another big one into the second chicane. Monicelli has to stop and gets trained by another car. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked to me like Gobsmacker turned in a little bit too aggressively, as side by side with Cook, who had gone off at the first chicane. And yeah, I think that might have been a bit of an unhappy. We are now with Rob Phillips with the Safety team, one of the drivers who hasn't had a major big one yet this race. There's heading into the pits already. You can see ahead is Monicelli. I think Gary Rowe is back out. So too is Rumi and Medeiros. So a few drivers are actually coming back out onto the track. Rumi 2 laps down, Medeiros 1 lap down, Rowe 3 laps down. However, they won't be requiring to take their pit stop, as they have taken it with quite a heavy penalty. Actually, that was wow. It looked like when Cook went round, I'm not sure if he hit the brakes. I couldn't see the lights, but oh, here we go. Up the inside at the first chicane goes Gobsmacker. Oh, cutting the second one. Angel's going to be able to use that to get back ahead and start to pull a gap as well. But yeah, that crash, I'm not sure if Cook held his brakes there. I couldn't see. Oh, okay. This is going to be fun. We're with Unique Smith, who's got Alex looking around the outside. He has Angel in front as round goes Smith, round goes Angel. A few cars having to take evasive action as well. Wow, that was a lapped car as well, of Gary Rowe involved in there as well. He had to take evasive action too. We are now with Gobsmacker, who is on the back of Angel once again. This is the battle for 10th. The number 7 machine of Yamik Smith will be further down as well. Let's see what happens. Can the move be made into turn 1 by Goldschmaker against Angel? Yamik Smith will be looking to gain the positions that he's lost back as well. Have a look now, turn 2. That Ferrari is all over the rear of the Bentley, but it has been very interesting to see how these cars go. Ooh. A bit loose there from Goldschmaker by the look at it. We are on board. We are on board actually with Angel. Get the rear camera as they head into the second chicane. You can see a bit of a train behind Goldschmaker, Yamik Smith, Train Boy 2005, and Kyle Cook. As we head to the second chicane, you can see Yamik Smith is all over the back of that Ferrari as well. Let's see if we can grab a bit of a rear view look from that Ferrari. Yes, we can. The gap separating Yamik Smith from Goldschmaker is 0.18. It has extended a little bit now, though, as Kyle Cook looking right down the inside. Ooh, that might have been a very much optimistic there from Kyle Cook if he was going to keep going for that. But that would have been a little bit of a dive bomb. In fact, as we're now jumping back to have a look at the battle for the lead for the bronze class. Justin Gottlieb there on the left with Toby Long on the right. Number 71, Sportfly car number 36, Lexus, running first and second with Brad Hoovegroove Move in there as well. This is for the lead of the bronze class. We'll see how this evolves. In fact, it's a bit wide at turn 1. Brad Hoovegroove Move might have a Hoovegroove and a move down the inside here at turn 2. Let's have a look. He might push Gottlieb wide because remember you've got the 2 parts. They are now side by side. Maybe, I can't quite see. Gottlieb gets out just ahead for now. Now, but keep in mind that Hoovegroove Move will be hooving, grooving and moving in the slipstream down towards the first chicane. And obviously the more that they battle, the more that Toby Long can escape as well. So we'll have to see what happens here. But through the second chicane, Gottlieb looks to get the gap back on Toby Long through the second part of the lap. In fact, as we are just looking to see what happens. Rowe apparently still having a pit stop to take. Interesting. The other drivers might have actually just pitted. In fact, I think 7 cars out of that pitted. Now on the inside is Long, on the outside is Gottlieb there as Hoove. I think there's a bit of contact between Hoove and Gottlieb as once again towards the start finish line. On the back of Toby Long's car. Gottlieb going very deep at turn 1 again. Brad Hoove might be able to have a look. Hoove getting pushed out right there, getting the muscles out on the Lexus, does Gottlieb. This is going to allow Toby Long once again to get a bit of a gap, which it is. It's up to 0.8, 0.7, around there as they head now towards the straight of the third chicane. Long hitting the sand on the inside, which means he would have lost a little bit of speed as they head towards the first chicane. Oh my, look, Gottlieb so close to the rear bumper of the 71 machine of Toby Long there. That was, I bet Gottlieb was a little bit scared as down the inside there is contact between Long and Gottlieb. That's going to promote Hoove into the lead of the bronze class. A move down the inside attempted by Gottlieb. Just a little bit of contact on the inside. On the inside corner of Long's car, which has promoted Hoovegroove Move into the lead, maybe for his maiden victory. However, we've only been racing for 11 minutes. We've still got just under 49 minutes left to go. Here we are, Kyle Cook against Simon Angel. Let's see what happens. This is into turn 3. Well, looks like Kyle Cook will be able to hold that, but we'll have to see what happens. Train Body Bound 5 behind. Goldschmaker up in 9th as well as Yumi Smith in 10th. Was over the first chicane. Kyle Cook did go wide there, a couple of laps back. Keep in mind. We are going to jump up. Here is Yumi Smith on the back of Goldschmaker. This is the battle for 9th position. Raging on. The gap is around half a second, 0.4, around there, 4/10 half a second. Thereabouts as they're heading into Sector 3. Already this has been one of the most eventful races this season that I've commentated so far. And we have still got 3/4 of the race left to go. Alright, here we go. Starting another lap now. The lead lap is 8 so far. But moving to the outside goes Yumi Smith. He might look to just get a better line into the second corner. Oh yeah, it does look like it. He tried to make the feint, but it looked like the Ferrari was just there on the inside. Now up the inside of the second part of turn 2. They are side by side. Who's going to get ahead? Goldschmaker gets muscled out the way. There goes Goldschmaker all the way round at turn 2. Or I think the Bentley might have just got a little bit of understeer into him. I'm not sure that that was the best of moves actually there for Yumi Smith. It looked, I'm not sure who would have been in the wrong there. It might have been Smith. Obviously, I only see from the outside view. That was definitely something though. It looked like they just came together. Goldschmaker losing 4 positions in that one. We'll have to see what will happen for the rest of the races. We are going to jump up now. Bingus McBongus against Pierre Moreno for 3rd overall, 3rd place in the Platinum class as well. There's Bingus McBongus, a switch to the inside, not having the line though, or the speed to actually fully capitalise on that opportunity against Pierre Moreno. The gap is 6/10 at this current minute in time. Now head down towards the chicane. Now, I'm not sure what car is quicker down the chicane. From what I've heard, the Bentley can just attack the curbs on both of them. It'll be an absolutely fought battle between the two drivers. Pierre Moreno and Bingus McBongus have been nose to tail in many races before. And these two drivers, when they're pitted against each other, always make some of the most entertaining racing I've seen. Because they both know how to read each other in most ways, which obviously does add quite a bit for the racecraft. If you can read your opponent. I give it up. I do try my best. Yeah, as I was saying, it's always great when you're racing. If you're against an opponent that you've raced with a lot, who knows how to read you, and you know how to read them, it almost forces you in a sense to, at least when it's happened to me, to think outside the box, beyond the realms of what you normally do. Because if you race with someone for so long and they know how you like to make your moves, what kind of corners you gain the advantage in, you have to shift that to the bits they wouldn't think of, in a sense. Because that way, if you shift it to a way that they didn't think that you would look to do, and you are sort of sat there like, they know that I tried to get the switch back in the corner. If I tried to just have a regular line, and instead of trying to get the switch back, they might defend for it and slow themselves up and open up this other opportunity for me. It's always a lot of quick thinking like that, at least when I've raced, I've had to do when racing in leagues against people that I've raced before for quite a while. It's always very interesting to sort of get into the mind of Jeez, that scared me there for a minute. YouTube streaming just said that I had no data, and that terrified me. Oh, here we go. Final chicane being as long as almost looking at the inside. We'll see as well how the pit strats play out as well. The pit strats we've heard are going to be quite interesting. You apparently get blue flagged at the pit exit. And obviously, as you can see there from the white line to the left-hand side. I'm sorry, I didn't have my teeth in my head there for a minute. You get spat out directly onto the apex, which means you have to hold your line. Some drivers were asking, do we have to stop completely, or are we able to come out and hold our line? And it seemed to be, hold your line, be, as predictable as possible. Don't make any stupid defending moves on the pit exit. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how that goes. It'll also be interesting to see further back. Monicelli, Ultra Iron, and Medeiros Long, drivers who have pitted late. It'll obviously be very interesting to see what happened. Instance, as well as like what happened, but also as in what's I'm looking for, as well as in a sense of what will happen to their overall strategy. Obviously, pitting early you will need to you'll need to think forward, in a sense. You'll need to, say you've pitted 10 minutes early. Cool. You've made your stop. You now need to drag those tyres out for another 4 minutes, which is difficult. Because obviously most drivers will be going into this, I think, running maybe like, a lap undercut, a lap overcut directly on the middle in terms of when they pit. But you have to think in that sense of, what am I doing? If you pit early, you've pitted early, your strategy gets thrown a little bit as, you've had to pit 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, an hour early to see what happens. Because obviously you're in the pits, you lose at least 30 seconds in the stop, and then the time to actually go through the pit lane. So you lose a long time, even at the short pit lane tracks, really. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. In a sense, as we are still with the battle of Bingus Bongus against Pierre Moreno. They are so close, just nose to tail with each other. They've been like this for laps upon laps now. The lead lap is currently 12. While we are just watching this battle rage on, we are going to go through your current top 3 for all classes. So the top 3 for the platinum classes in their respective order is Dave Colesnigau, Ed Costetta, and Pierre Moreno. For the platinum class, for the silver class, it is Aaron Feidlach in 7th, first to the silver class. In 11th is Simon Angel, second in the silver class, and in 13th or third is Trainboy 2005 in the silver class. For your bronze class, they are all together. 15th is Brad Move with a 10-second gap to take the lead of the bronze class so far. Following is William Treasure with a 4-second gap between himself and third place in bronze. He's running in 16th, and 17th is Justin Gottlieb, who's running third in the bronze class with a 4-second gap between himself and William Treasure. So here we go. We're on the look now. Toby Long against Medeiros. Aston Martin against Aston Martin with Dave just in the background as well. So you can see there is Dave, which will mean these two drivers will be blue flagged. But I'm sure they'll want to rage the battle on as Dave going down the inside, slots back in there for T1. A lovely place to actually get blue flagged there for Toby Long. Obviously, getting blue flag down the straight is so much better because it means, yeah, as you can see just there, Dave goes down the inside of Medeiros and Long takes the opportunity absolutely perfectly to slot up the inside at the gap that Dave carved out because of that blue flag. While I'm not too, while I'm not too keen on people like using the blue flags to throw themselves past an opponent, when it gets done like that, it is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful to see. Further down, Ed Castedo is currently running in the pit lane. Bingos Longest is still chasing Pierre Moreno, and here is Jürgen Zuscheisen for Cooking Livery Racing Keck on Trainbow 2005 for somewhere in the silver class. Third in the silver class. In fact, with that's Monicelli behind as well, who I think is a lap down. Oh, Cookie on the sand. Monicelli taking avoiding action, not to get caught up once again. With Goldschmaker just behind as well, so this is going to be very interesting to see what happens. The cars are within 2 seconds of each other, really. I think the actual gap is 2 seconds between Trainboy 2005 and Goldschmaker themselves as they head through the second chicane. The curb is absolutely pivotal, it seems, to this chicane. Ooh, a bit loose there on the rear for Goldschmaker as Monicelli, I think, is looking. I think Goldschmaker will be looking at Cookie himself as well, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens in a sense as we head into the final chicane. We'll keep an eye on this battle for a little bit. Oh, Cookie going to the inside at turn 1. What can Goldschmaker do here? Slow up a little bit to actually try and get the outside into turn 2? As they head into turn 2, it's on camber as well, which just adds to the speed. Both corners really are. You can see that factory there, depth of field in the background as well, which I think looks really nice. We are also coming up to the halftime pit stop. Rob has died. Do you want to talk about it, Guns? We can have an interview. Put in the chat what happened there. I'm curious because I didn't catch it. I'll keep my eye open. Unraceable. What's unraceable? Did you have a crash? Question mark. Ah, murdered. I'll say murdered. Murdered, yeah. Murder has seemed to happen a little bit this race. It's been, we had that big one at the start. I'm not sure if you're caught up in that one, Gons. But yeah, this has been, I came into this thinking that, you know, Zolder, it's tight. It's very tight, in fact. And yeah, it's... Yeah, it's been such a tight track, in fact. It's been really, really, like... I think there's been a lot of under and overestimation up and down the grid sometimes, too. As there goes Alan the German deep into the first chicane. Obviously, I'm not going to, like, be harsh, but I'm sure that the stewards will probably have quite a few things to look into tonight. Oh, there goes Monicelli deep at the second chicane himself. Jürgen Zuscheisen is on the back of Chamber 2005 for third place in the silver category. I'm not sure I actually, I'm not sure I caught what took you out, to be fair. I might have, I might not have, I'm not sure. The gaps have been very close. Yeah, Alan the German, he is currently running in 8th, leading the silver class so far. He's got quite a gap between himself and Simon Angel. About 11, 12 seconds thereabouts. There was a way. There was a way. Oh. I can't remember what the button was to show classes, but I know it used to exist. And I was going to use that, but we'll just stick with the overall for now. Well, also, Gobschmaker has also come into the pit, so yeah. Definitely the pit stop there. Oh, it's Trainer 2005 and Cookie have a coming together at the entrance to Sector 3. And again, another one through the left-hand king. Eggo's Kyle Cook and I believe Angel head into the pit as well. So yeah, definitely looking to get the pit stops done now. Cookie and Trainboard 2005 staying out on track, battling for what is now second place in the silver category, but I believe it will be third on the road. Jürgen Zuscheisen gets out ahead through turn 1, holds it through to turn 2. Yeah, holds it through to turn 2. We'll have to see. Does Chamber 2005 do his thing? As we get the bonnet view, Hoovegroove Move has headed into the pits as well, so that's the leader of the bronze class so far. Cookie taking a lot of curb through the first part of the chicane, actually looking to get out faster as well. So I believe Trainboy 2005 is going to be losing some gap unless he has a better line through the second chicane. No. There's further up the grid, Pierre Moreno drops into the pits as well for his stop at 31 minutes and 25 seconds. Oh yeah. I'm not sure why it did that. It was set to ACC earlier. That's very annoying. Thank you for noticing. Because I didn't. So let's have a look up and on the grid. Is there anything going on? Yes, there is. Here is Gregory Goldschmager, who has made his pit stop against William Treasure, who's currently running third place in the bronze class this race. Have a look what happens. Oh, to the inside goes Gregory Goldschmager. Oh, it's going to be very tight. Oh, there's 3 wide. You mean Smith? They're taking the opportunity very well with both hands, actually, to slide up. I believe he was a lap up. I could be wrong. Yeah, he was a lap up. But he took that opportunity beautifully and then went deep at the second chicane. Note to self. Don't say anything until it's happened. Here is Alan the German. Fight like on William Treasure. Fight like is a lap up, so that's William Treasure lapped by Alan the German, currently running in P7 for the lead of the silver class. He still has to make a pit stop, but so too does everyone else. As well, there goes William Treasure. So too does everyone else. However, he is on the back of Unique Smith. That blue Bentley, Alan the German, is actually fighting for track position. All cars still have to make a pit stop from first through to 9th, excluding Paolo Alex and Bingersfoot Bongus, as they are in the pit stop now. William Treasure has made his pit stop, and so too has Ultra Einen as well. Gottlieb, who's currently leading the bronze class, has not yet made his pit stop. So we'll have to see what happens as Alan the German getting the grass on the outside. Remember, he has to hit Unique Smith. Well, I say he has to get past Unique Smith, not hit Unique Smith. But in the reality senses, he has to negotiate Golfmaker as Uljainen speeds in the pit lane and picks himself up 30-second stop go penalty. So that will be, I think, race over really for Uljainen, number 32 Audi in the bronze class. For speeding in the pit lane, I believe that would be. You know, you want to turn the limiter off as soon as you can. But you don't want to be able to... What's the word? You don't want to, like... You don't want to turn it off too early, but you don't want to turn it off too late, as the race leader, Dave Kolesnikau, and Paolo Angel head into the pit with Medina, staying out on track. Yamik Smith and Aaron Faddock, as well as Jürgen Zuscheisen, have also stayed out of pit. Gottlieb in 12th place, the lead of the bronze class so far, has also dropped into the pit lane, which may give Brad Hoovegroove the opportunity to jump ahead. Yes, it does. So Brad Hoove and a groove on the move. It's Hoove, I believe, will be jumping up into the lead of the bronze class so far. There's Dave Kolesnikau heading out of the pit lane. So Brad Hoove in a groove on the move, I believe, have been promoted back into the lead of the bronze class. I believe this will be his first win of the season as well, at least first win that I have seen. Here's Lauren Mercury on the back of Medeiros, the black Aston Martin ahead, a Beamer as well, the only one on the grid. So we'll see how this goes over the curves. The Beamer is quite big, but I'm not sure how it does on the curbs itself. Very interesting. The gap is apparently just around 3/10 thereabouts. Both drivers have pitted in. They're all in the platinum class with Shopland, the 951 Porsche there as well, who was involved in that lap 1 pile-up. With about 26.5 minutes left on the clock as well, so we will definitely be seeing some racing get bred now, especially as people have tried to use the pit stops, obviously tactically, as you do. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Here is Mingus Longus against Paolo Angel. In fact, the number 88 against the number 8. So all the 8s. And we'll see how this goes, because it's Bentley v event. I'm not doing very well at pronunciation today. It's Bentley v Bentley. So it'll be really down to the drivers as to who comes off ahead. The gap has extended through the third sector, however, in Angel's favour, with now the only 2 cars left to pit this race, at least from the look of it, being Alan the German and Medina, which is currently first in platinum and first in silver. So we'll see if the overcut does prove to be beneficial. Here is Aaron Faddock, Alan the German. Let's see, is he going to go into the pit? Yes, he does. You don't have to spearhead into the pit, but you want to make sure you hit your braking point, even though you are greeted with a massive brick wall. Here is Jürgen Zuscheisen, racing Yamik Smith on the pit exit. I'm not sure if that's allowed. We may have to ask about that one. I'm not sure if it was put into the rules that you're allowed to race people out of the pit exit. But it looked like Cookie might have raced someone out of the pit exit. Through turn 1, Medeiros gets a bit deeper through the first corner. Let's ride on board. Oh, you can just hear the sound of that Beamer. I do like the way the Beamer sounds. Even its TC slip sounds quite nice to me. You can see that that wing there as they head through the first chicane. Ian Arnold and Gary Rowe still haven't pitted. Ian Arnold is a lap down, however, so that'll definitely be very interesting. Dave Kolesnikau there as well, coming up against Ian Arnold. just a bit too late at the chicane. Aaron Feilack has pitted now, so every driver, I believe, who has needed to pit has pit, with the exception of Gary Rowe and Ian Arnold. However, I don't know if they are going to pit because they are, to put it in the nicest terms, quite far down in a sense, which, yeah, I think that one collision and the collisions up and down the grid throughout the race have been not the greatest for the drivers. Yeah, that one took 7 cars into the pit early. It looked like it might have actually taken 1 or 2 cars out as well. Now we're with Gregory Goldschmaker against Simon Angel. Ed Costetta has achieved a drive-through penalty. Ed Costetta, our local Skip Barber alien here, in the pit for his drive-through penalty. So that may be him out of the running here, as we are with Bingus and Bongus, who's still chasing the back of Angel. They're number 88 machine against number 8 machine. As, yeah, I believe Ed Costetta will be losing a fair few positions. Yeah, you can see him there, the purple Ferrari inside. Medina as well. Getting out. There. We'll have to see what position comes out in second. Third, fourth. For Medina. Actually down in 7th. In fact. So probably not the best of timed pit stops for Medina. In fact, a few drivers having gained a bit of time in the pit stop as well. So Ian Arnold has also slotted into the pit lane. Here we go. It is still Bingus and Bongus trailing Angel, running 4th and 5th this battle. So this is for 4th overall, 4th in class as well, which, you know, gives a good deal of points for the race. We are now with Pierre Moreno. Here is the rear wing of Pierre Moreno. As now we are back with... I'm not sarcastic, I promise. And there's a Pirelli sign for some reason in the middle of the track. Pirelli running over their own advertisement. I make myself chuckle sometimes. Ooh, bit of grass there for Bingus and Bongus. Up ahead as well, Pierre Moreno is trailing just under 13 seconds, around 13 seconds from Dave Kolesnikau. Hello Alex is trailing 3 seconds from Pierre Moreno. Angel 13 and a half, and Bingus and Bongus about a second around between them. As all things go with GT racing, we are coming up to the quieter edge, really, of the race. The last 20 minutes, there'll still be some racing happening, but now it's a case of being consistent, really. Some drivers in any motorsport, really, especially timed motorsport, start turning off, well, really, any form of motorsport, really, can start turning off towards the end, either slowing down or maybe even, you know, not having the best of tyre life, or the best of, what's what I'm looking for here? The best of, the best of longevity in their setup, which may also cause them to have to slow down a little bit towards the end of a stint. You know, drivers could also be experiencing pressure loss if they've been hitting the sand quite a bit as well. So definitely be very interesting to see what happened. What happens towards the end of the race. Also keep in mind in the chat, if you are actually in the chat and you do fancy talking to me, put in your vote for driver of the day. And also for anyone who you would like me to interview, let me know. Today I'm going to actually look to interview not just the top 3, but I'm actually going to switch interviews up to who the chat want and who I've seen on a good drive. I also want to grab an interview from someone involved in that massive lap 1 collision as well, so we'll see how that goes at the end of the race. We are with Goldschmaker against Angel, 6 tenths separating the 2 drivers. We get this dashboard camera now of Gregory Goldschmaker, who is against Simon Angel. So this is going to be a very interesting battle towards the end. Angel, Simon Angel and Paolo Angel. Keep in mind, 2 drivers, not the same driver. That has got a few people in the Discord this season as well to see. Obviously, the 2 drivers called Angel. It has tricked a few people out, which in my mind is quite funny. I've always found it quite funny that, you know, you get tricked out by some drivers who might share the same second name, because especially in ACC, at least me, I read the second name more than I read the first name, which sometimes means I get the issue of of the fact that I'll be like, hang on, I've just read about him. Taking a moment to listen to the very loud engines there as Simon Angel takes to the right-hand side of the track, making sure to claim his line into the first chicane. Actually looking like the Bentley gets out faster through the first chicane, which, from what I've heard, it can use the curbs quite to its advantage, really. To gain quite a lot of speed out of the car. We are now on the rear wing of Simon Angel. You can see the red Ferrari of Goldschmaker just behind as well, getting increasingly closer. I'm not sure where the Ferrari is strongest. And while we're here, I'm going to give you the top 3 of all classes. So first, second and third for the Platinum class, which is first, second and third in their class. And on the grid is Collis Nicol, Pierre Moreno and Paolo Alex. For the Silver class, it is Alan the German in first, who's running in 8th overall. 10th overall in second of the Silver class is Jürgen Zuscheisen. And 11th overall and third in Silver is Simon Angel. Further down in the Bronze class, first in 16th overall for Bronze is Brad Groove Move It's Groove. I've messed that up. Second is Trifonov, who's running 17th overall, and running 18th is Toby Long, who's in third place for the Bronze class. Well, now into the first chicane. You can just see how close the drivers get. Very bumpy over the curb. You can see from from the Ferrari of Goldschmaker. Getting very tight between the 2, actually, as we are going to jump back to Mateo Monicelli. Or Mateo Monicelli. I might have to ask him how to pronounce that, actually. As they head through the second chicane, Trainway Development 5, the yellow McLaren, with Monicelli, the grey and blue Lexus. The gap between the 2 is 6 tenths, apparently. But it is extending out of the second chicane, so there might be a little bit of a problem there. Medeiros and Gottlieb both picking up drive-through penalties, maybe actually for track limits, in fact, which might explain a few things. There's one of the Sportify cars heading up into the pits ahead. I think that's going to be Gary Rowe. Yeah, it was Gary Rowe. Finally taking his pit stop with 14 minutes left on the clock. He's currently running 6th in the Bronze class, which really, 6th is still going to be an okay amount of points, really. You know, 6th points, very good. Very good, in fact. Because keep in mind, they do all run to the... what's the word I'm looking for here? They all do run to your total at the end of the season. Obviously, if you can get points, then you get points. Because obviously, at the end of the day, you want to get as many points as possible to win your class, or even just get ahead and, you know, finish as close up to the front as humanly possible in the championship. As we are with Goshmacher, we're still chasing the rear of Simon Angel. In fact, they have been massively nose to tail for so many laps, but now up the inside, side-by-side contact for the two cars. Angel stays out ahead. Now he's going to defend the inside with Ian Arnold getting involved in the mix as well, just behind in that yellow Ferrari. Let's see what happens here. Running very close, nose to tail now between Arnold and Goldschmaker as they head through turn 3. Goldschmaker had the perfect opportunity there at turn 1, but they had side-by-side contact. And I think actually if there wasn't the side-by-side contact, Goldschmaker would have been ahead at that corner, as he has got ahead through the first chicane. Can Angel have a go into the second chicane? No, he can't. So Goldschmaker gets ahead for now. There's a little bit of ping just occurs there for a minute. Ignore it. Ignore it, and it's like nothing has happened. And here we see Dave Kolesnik, the Eminent Authority Racing number 167 machine. Somewhere. There he is. Getting some lapping done. The lead lap is currently lap 31. The top 10 are currently on the lead lap, with 11th through to 16th, 1 lap down, and 17th through to 26th between 2 and 5 laps down. Just a little bit. Few fun facts for you there, matey. Few fun facts. As here is Alan German, who is still chasing the rear of Yamik Smith. Alan German for 5 Lap Racing. Has been very much chasing the rear of Yamik Smith for the longest time during the race. He's currently in the lead of the silver class, a 9-second gap between himself and Jürgen Zuscheisen, who is running second place in the silver class at this current minute. Oh, is it an ACC wide issue? Gons. The sometimes the dips and stuff. That's, yeah, ACC doesn't always have the best of servers. In fact, with now we're up to the final 10 minutes left of today's race. It's been quite a race today. Actually, as people said in the chat, we've had crashes, we've had spins, we've had supposed rule breaks. Obviously, I'm not going to comment on who's in the wrong, as I only get one angle when commentating. There's a Trifonov off into the final chicane. But yeah, I think today the stewards might have quite a bit to look at, but there's one thing that a lot of people do say, and that is the fact that the stewarding team at Racing Pals do look at what is put in and do come to a decision. And obviously at the end, if the person isn't had a decision, there is always the ability to appeal, which is obviously, you know, something very good to see. is the ability to, if you feel that you've been done wrong by either for a penalty or by a decision, you can sit there and go, oi, 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 let's have a bit of a word here, put your side across, and obviously the stewards will re-look at it and come to a decision taking into account everything that has been said, which obviously very good stewarding. Instead of just shutting the door instantly and going, nope, it's done. There is always the scope to appeal. With 8 minutes left on the clock now, we are with Mateo Monicelli, or Mateo Monicelli. I'm going to have to ask him. I'm not sure how. I'm just going to have to sort of at him and go, how do you say it? And see how it goes. So, into turn 1. Monicelli is chasing the yellow McLaren of Trainboy 2005. Two different classes though, so really, it's not the most like, what's the number here? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not the most crucial thing to finish ahead of someone who isn't in your class. Because obviously you have to, as I said earlier, you have to think of the class system as essentially 3 separate races. Because obviously you have the bronze race, the silver race, and the platinum race, all with their own championships as well. So really all you're fighting for is track position in a sense. Also remember, with 7 minutes left on today's race clock, this has the GTWS style of race finish. For people who don't know what this means, is the leader, the race only finishes once the leader crosses the start finish line with 0 seconds left on the clock. If he crosses the start finish line with 1 second left, then you are doing another lap. So into turn 1, there's the Spotify car of Toby Long ahead as well. He will be under blue flags towards the second corner. Trainboy 2005 managed to get ahead before turn 1. However, Monicelli, tried to sneak the inside, slows up quite a bit to allow number 48 machine. I believe that is. It is a Lexus. I believe it's a number 48 Lexus. Ahead as well. Yeah, it is Paolo Alex, number 48 Lexus, getting ahead of Monicelli and getting ahead of Toby Long as well. As we are now with Simon Angel, who is chasing the back of Kyle Kirk. The gap is just under a second between the two drivers. With just 5 minutes, just about 5.5 minutes left on today's race clock. We've seen a lot during today's race, in fact. And, yeah, next week, sorry, not next week, 2 weeks' time, we will be here for the next race of the RP Series. Remember, we're at round 4 out of 6. The next round is at Barcelona on the 27th of the 6th, with the season finale being Kyalami on the 18th of the 7th. So it's going to be very, very interesting and very scary, I think, now going into the final races of the season. Maybe not scary, maybe scary isn't the best word, but you know, it's going to be very interesting towards the end of the season, because now, you know, you're getting to the point where it's make or break. You know, no mistakes really from the start of the race. Start of the season. Towards the end of the season, you just have to try and really make the most out of it and get the best results that you can. Because obviously the championship is at stake. You know, one good, one bad race, yeah, you can live with it, but you don't want to be making a habit of doing it. A lot of the time I've seen championships won and lost just on consistency. You know, some drivers have got a great race in, but sometimes, as they say, the tortoise beats the hare. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Someone will hear that in either the live chat or the stream replay, and they will sit back and go, you know, he has a point. Whereas I'm sat here just like, I don't actually know what I'm saying anymore. It's funny, it really is. I do love it. Oh, jeez. For some reason, the rules thing has opened. There we go. Not sure why that was. The rules thing just decided to have an open there for a minute. So with 3 minutes left on the clock now, we're going to have a couple more laps, I feel. Let's have a look. Yeah, the best lap being about a 1 minute 28. 1 minute 29, 1 minute 28, really, for the best lap. So it's definitely been an interesting race, as we are now watching Mateo Monicelli and Trainboy 2005 duke it out for position at the second chicane. Oh, let's see who gets out ahead. Monicelli moves out ahead to move up to 14th position. However, I'm sure Trainboy 2005 will be wanting to have a look. As you can see that rear bumper of the Lexus of Monicelli coming through. Now hard on the brakes over the first curb, over the second curb. Oh, a bit loose there. You're going to hear the TC cut from Trainboy 2005's car, and yeah, he has lost quite a lot of track time. Actually, between himself and Monicelli, they're running about a tenth between them. Now they're running 7 tenths, 6 tenths between the two as well. So I think that maybe Trainboy 2005 has lost the momentum to catch up to Monicelli. However, it's not over until the fat lady sings. And right now, she's a bit silent, actually. Yeah. I do agree. There was a lot of greed over the curbs. You could hear on the second curb, you could hear the rear of the car lift, and you could hear the TC cut off because it cut what sounded like all of the power to the rear wheels. Over the second curbs, I think the car might have lifted a bit more than what he was expecting over the second curb, the second set of curves. Here is Dave Kolesnikov now coming on to start, I think, what will be, yeah, the final lap of the race. For Dave Kolesnikov. Ed Costetta gaining another drive-through penalty as well. It's not been a great day for Ed Costetta. He's had 2 drive-through penalties so far this race. And this one, he's got this lap to serve it. Or otherwise it will turn into a... What does it turn into? A drive-through when you haven't served it. I can't remember. Is it 15 or 30? I can't quite fully remember. So, the timer has hit 0. So this means it is the final lap. Ed Costetta also coming in and serving his drive-through penalty on the final lap. Will he gain or lose a position? I think he might actually lose 6th place to Medina. Might even lose 7th place to Yamik Smith as well. We'll have to see. But now coming through to take today's victory with just shy of a 16-second lead. Across the line comes Dave Kolesnikov to take the victory here today at Zolder. And what we're going to do is just jump on here as we normally do. There goes Pierre Moreno across the line. Many more drivers coming through as well. There goes a Bentley, there goes a Ferrari, there goes a Lexus. Here comes on the Sportify cars. What a race that has been today. Here at the Zolder circuit. What a race. What a race. We had the big one at the start, and so many drivers... Just keep waving the flag, mate. So many drivers got caught up in that, and up and down the grid. I think there was some massive collisions up and down. Coming into it this weekend, I thought, you know, yeah, Zolder, gonna be a tricky one. Maybe one of the trickiest ones on the calendar. But from a commentator's perspective, it has not ceased to give some great racing today. And we're just going to wait now for the rest of the cars to come across the start finish line. So your results are as follows. Taking the win of today's race with Dave Kolesnikow with PM Renault. I'm going to do this in the class actually. So for the platinum class was Dave Kolesnikow coming through to take the win with Pierre Moreno in second, Paolo Alex in third, Angel in fourth, Medina in fifth, sixth was Unique Smith, in seventh was Gobschmacker, in eighth was Carl Cook. These are... Oh, I've got that right. I'm sorry, it's giving me the wrong line of stuff. So we're just gonna do that again. So going through to take the victory in the platinum class is Dave Kolesnikow, followed by Pierre Moreno, Alex, Angel, Bingus McBongus, Medina, Yamik Smith, Ed Costetta, Gregory Goldschmaker, Kyle Cook, Monicelli, Mercury, Medeiros, Shoblem, Moss. And there was no platinum cars who failed to finish today's race. For the silver class to come through and take the victory was Alan the German, Aaron Feidlach, followed by Jürgen Zuscheisen in second, with Simon Angel in third, with Tremper 2005 fourth, and fifth. The only other finisher in the silver class was Ian Arnold, with Udadorp dropping out of the race quite early on before the first pit stop. And now the bronze class coming through to take the victory today for the bronze class was the man who was hooving. He was grooving, and he has moved all the way to a victory. It was Brad Hoover, with second place going to Toby Long, and third place, William Treasure. Triple coming through to take fourth, Gottlieb fifth, Rowe sixth, and then Ultrainen, Vangelu, Phillips, and Rumi all did not finish today's race. So we are going to get some drivers in for interviews.
Beautiful, colourful scenes mingling down on the grid. 22 cars. We have some fantastic way to start the 2018 Floor Plan GT Series. Just to reiterate, this is the first of 5 of the sprint rounds that combine with the 5 of the endurance rounds. And a driver who has been mighty in the endurance rounds, overall champion last year, is Mirko Bortolotti. He tried to move, but John Wilson has caught up with him.
Mirko last year did a pretty good year. Started off this year. I think we win in your category.
Yeah, I did. It's been a good start to the season, definitely. It's been a dream. Winning Daytona, it's one of the most important races, one of the biggest races.
So we're going to start off with the interviews of the bronze. So we are just going to send out the tag here for the interview of the bronze drivers for today. Do not follow the car, thank you very much. We're just going to grab a nice view here of the circuit as well, because I quite like getting a nice view of the circuit when I'm talking to people. So we're going to... Oh, jeez. Where's Discord? Today's race, absolutely amazing. From a viewing point of view, I'm not sure how it's going to be when it comes along to to the stewarding tonight. So we are first going to get a view. We're first going to speak to William Treasure, coming through to finish third in today's race. So dragging him down. Well, hello, Bacon. Finishing third.
Hello, Husky. Did not expect to be chatting to you.
No, I have to admit, nor have I. So maybe me insulting you before the race started has helped.
I heard that you were showing me crashing in practice or qualifying or something.
So, how was the race from your perspective? How did it go?
I mean, the start was a bit scary because there was a big crash, but I managed to avoid incidents with that. And then it was just, doing my own race. I got hit at one point and spun out at the hairpin, and then other than that, it was just, just punching in slow laps after slow lap after slow lap, which was pretty consistent for me.
One thing I do have to ask, actually, obviously, I'm going to try and sound as nice as possible. I very rarely see you on the stream, and you said a couple of weeks ago that the only time I showed you, you crashed.
Yeah.
How is the Nissan actually driving? Because it's a very rare choice of car.
Like, it's slow, but I'm consistent with it. I find it really, really fun to control. So it's like I can't get the top lap times, but I spin out in it less of my own inability. So that's really nice. But it looks cool. I like how it sounds. It's cool. But yeah,
And
not the best car.
I'll ask you the final question I always ask before I let you go. The next race, do you think I'm going to be speaking to you again?
Probably not. Probably don't think that's going to be happening. But
It's Barcelona. Is it a track that you are you're knowledgeable at? Are you fast there? Are you consistent there? Or is it one that maybe you're going to have to put a bit of work into?
I actually quite like Barcelona. I'm not the fastest there, but I have a bit of time there, so I quite like that track. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's actually pretty good. So it's got, aside from the final corner, obviously the chicane, it's got corners that suit me a bit better. So yeah.
Who knows?
Probably won't speak to you, but less crashes on that one. I think I got here because of crashes, but it's good to be here anyway.
A third place is a third. I think that's your highest finish of the season as well, isn't it, in class? Third?
It is, yeah, it is.
Well, who knows if everything falls in your favour again, you might actually be coming back with a win.
Yeah. Well, good to speak to you, man. Anyway.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Good luck at the next race. Hopefully, I'll see you in the future.
Thank you, man.
So that was William Treasure, Trans-Baconist, coming through to take third place in the bronze class. We are now going to bring in a man who's hooving, he's grooving, he's moving. And here he is, coming through to take the win of the bronze class, is Hoove. Hello, Hoove.
You've got to be kidding me. I didn't even know where I ended up at the end of that.
You won the bronze class today.
Wow, yeah, that was an awesome race.
So, how was the race for you? Because I saw you sometimes, but it looked like you just sort of silently got into first and just held it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I didn't qualify at all where I wanted to. I was kind of struggling during quali, and I was just hoping for the best. And I guess I lucked out some of the first lap incidents, and I just kind of snuck right through and took my spot and held it as best as I could.
And the next race, Barcelona. How are you there? Do you think you're going to be able to get another podium or another win?
Oh man, Barcelona. Well, I'm familiar with Barcelona. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be at that race, but hey, you never know, right? You never know what's going to happen.
And one thing that I know everyone in the chat and the stream replay will want to know, do you do the grooving, the hooving, and the moving, or is it just moving?
I do it all, brother. I do the move, I do the groove. I can do whatever you want me to.
And you are the Hoove. Thank you for coming and speaking to me, Hoove. Good luck at the next race if we see you. Hopefully we do. Who knows, you might even come through to get another win of class. Congratulations on the win, mate. I'll let you go. Have a good evening.
Yeah, hope to see you next time. See you later.
Yeah, mate. So that was Hoof Groove Move coming through to take the win of the bronze class of today's race. And as you heard from the man himself, he does hoof, he does groove, and he does, in fact, move. So, due to the time and the fact that I've got to go out and actually go and get dinner, I'm going to call tonight's race stream there. Make sure you join me. You join me in 2 weeks' time for the next round at Barcelona. If you need your fix of racing before then, from the RP Series, just let me quickly get the date. Next week is the Skip Barber race 9 out of 10 at Sebring on the 20th of this month. If you want to see more racing there in Assetto Corsa from the Skip Barber cars with a very close top end of the championship, make sure you definitely come around for that. Also remember, if you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Share it to your friends as I stream all of the Racing Pals 2 series on this YouTube channel here. And we are just 8 subscribers away from getting a custom URL, which will make advertising so much more easier. But until then, thank you for watching. I have been Husky. I will see all of you for the GT3 race at Barcelona in 2 weeks, or the Skip Barber race next week at Sebring. Until then, I've been Husky. A big thank you from myself and everyone at Racing Pals, and goodbye.